Hello, Hyde Park Community Choir. My name is Randy Hume. I am the musical director for the choir, and this video is to teach the parts for Total Praise by Richard Smallwood. If you haven't already, please also watch the YouTube video of him teaching a choir how he believes this song should be sung, the way that he wrote it. I think it really helps to clarify some of the key notes within the chords that really make the song sparkle. He also describes the meaning and the story behind the song when he wrote it and brings some of the emotion and the feeling to the song for me. And so please pay attention to that. This video is to supplement that and to go over the specific individual parts start to finish so that you can practice and know exactly where you're supposed to be. Starting first on the sopranos. It's in the key of D flat, starts on D flat for the sopranos. You're going to do a metronome. Ready, begin. Breathe. 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 And breathe. And hold for breathe. Breathe. Off and one. Breathe. Off and one. Breathe. Off. Great. That's the verse. We'll learn the ending, the amens, in a moment, but that's the beginning, just the sopranos. Next is going to come the altos. First note's an A flat. Lord, I will lift. Metronome. Ready, begin. Breathe. Off. Breathe. Off. 4. Breathe. Hold. 3, 4, off. Breathe. Off and 1. Breathe. Off and 1. Off. Very good. Okay, altos. That was the whole first verse all the way through. Don't worry, there are some tricky notes in there. We're going to go over them in detail now. I'm going to take it block by block, one phrase at a time, starting with just the first 4 bars here. Lord, I will lift mine eyes to the hills. I'm going to turn the metronome back on. You're starting at an A flat. Ready, begin. 2, 3, breathe. Off. Okay, that's the first phrase. If you need to practice that again, feel free to record or rewind, roll the video back a little bit. But I think that one's probably a little bit more straightforward than some of the ones that are coming next here. Second phrase, knowing my help is coming from you. This starts on a B flat. Ready, begin. Breathe. This is the first spot where we start to see some really interesting, colorful notes coming from the alto section here. It's a very melodic line. Altos are often given these really interesting lines. The sopranos get to sing the melody all the time, and that's great, but I think this is more interesting. So, again, knowing my help. And if you play that with the chords that are happening in the background, it makes actually a little bit more sense. Okay, so I'm gonna try something to help give this context. I'm gonna try playing some piano accompaniment chords underneath the alto part, but stripping out the soprano part on top. And so again, this is knowing my help is coming from you. Starts on a B flat. I'm not gonna do the metronome because I'm not going to be perfect on this on the piano, but hopefully this helps with getting the chords right. So 3, 4. So the alto note is on the top of that whole thing. Let's try that again. Again, knowing my help is coming from you, starting on a B flat. 3, 4. Good. Okay, the next phrase, your peace you give me in time of the storm. Get some more colorful notes here, altos. Starts on an A flat. Here's the metronome. Ready, begin. Breathe. Good. Let's do that one more time, and then I'll play it with the piano chords behind it. On an A flat. Ready, go. Breathe. Hold. 3, 4. Off. Great. Okay, let's try that now with the piano chords in the background. Again, stripping away the soprano on the top. Altos, you start on an A flat. Your peace you give me. 3, 4. Let's try that one more time. Again, you start on an A flat. 3, 4. 3, breathe. Hold. 3, 4, off. Great. Okay, the next section, you are the source of my strength. Altos with a metronome. 3, 4, 1. Breathe. Off. 4, 1. Breathe. So you'll notice there's just one difference between those two phrases. You are the source of my strength. You are the strength of my life. You play in the same series of notes except for the very last one. So listen to it again and play a little faster. 3, 4, 1. Right there. That last one is just a half step higher. Play it for you one more time a little bit faster so you can hear it. 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. Great. That's it. And then the closing phrase here, I lift my hands in total praise to you. The altos start on a D flat here. Here's the metronome. 3, 4, 1. Breathe. Off. Very good. This one's not quite as tricky, but we'll go over it anyway. So again, you're up here on the D flat. Does go down in kind of a less common manner. I'll play it with piano chords in a second here. It'll make some more sense, but with the sopranos, it might sound a little nicer. So again, just the altos on the D flat. 3, 4, 1. Okay, let's try that with the piano accompaniment now. You've got a come in on the second beat, and so I'm going to give you 3, 4, and then downbeat on 1 with the piano chord, and then you'll come in on 2. Your notes, D flat here, 3, 4, 1. Good. Again, that's with the soprano part stripped off the top. So let's now move on to the tenors. All right, tenors, your turn. You're going to be starting on an F. Lord, I will lift mine eyes to the hills. Here's the metronome. Ready, begin. Breathe. Off. hold, 3, 4, breathe. Breathe. Off, 4, 1. Breathe. Off, 4, 1. Off. Great. All right, let's learn the ending of the song, the amens. We're going to sing a little bit out of sync with each other. The timing of when the words are sung doesn't quite line up with all three parts, and so we'll go over that. Also, as you're singing the word amen over and over again, I want you to try and make it as warm and resonant as possible. And one way that we can do that is dropping our jaws a little bit lower than we might otherwise if we were just speaking this normal. So instead of just saying amen, you might drop your jaw and say amen. Doesn't have to be extreme. We don't have to turn into classical singing operatic musicians, but it does help really make it resonate in our bodies as it comes up our throats and through our heads and out our mouths, as well as in the space that we're singing in and with each other. We're going to start with the sopranos here. It's on a D flat. I'm going to play it on the piano first. Here's the metronome. Again, you're starting on D flat, beat 2. 3, 4, 1. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 1. Breathe. 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 And hold for another several beats. 4, hold until the conductor cuts you off. Somewhere around there. Great. Some of these phrases are long. It might be hard to sustain those notes without running out of breath. If you need to breathe, I understand. Try not to. Try to take adequate breaths at the times when the breaths are indicated and when the conductor tells you to do so. If you have to breathe, though, do something called stagger breathing, which means do it so that the audience hopefully doesn't notice, which means don't breathe at the same time as your neighbor. Stagger with when they breathe and when you breathe. And also don't make a big show of it. Try not to or lift or move your bodies or whatever. Sneak it in, take it down low into your diaphragm like hopefully we're always doing. And try to quickly just come back into the note without reattacking or doing it in a way that's going to call attention to it. I'm going to sing sopranos with you here. Forgive me, I'm going to be down an octave down an octave. So here's the note, D flat. Here's the metronome coming in on 2, 3, 4, 1. Breathe. Amen. hopefully you get the gist of what I'm trying to do here with shaping these phrases. They should kind of swell into the middle and then fade out towards the end. Crescendo, minuendo, crescendo, minuendo. And it kind of gives this impression of breathing. Amen, 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 amen. And then as we get towards the end there, I'm hoping that we can build as the altos and tenors are moving those notes, and then we get to that last held note and we're all crescendoing into a really strong finish. And as the composer has written, we end on a fortissimo, which is very strong, very loud. All right, altos, you're next. Starting on the F, here's the metronome coming on beat 2. 3, 4, 1, breathe. Breathe. And you hold. 2, 3, 4, 1, breathe. Breathe. And then you hold that until the conductor cuts you off. Great. Okay, finally, tenors here at the end on the amens. You're going to start on a D flat. You're an octave below the sopranos. Coming in on beat 2, D flat. Here's the metronome. 3, 4, 1, breathe. 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 Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, breathe. Hold until the conductor cuts you off, probably somewhere right around there. Okay. Last thing I'll say on this closing is it's all about the dynamics here, which means how loud or soft and what's happening in between. So it starts at the beginning of the amens, almost as quiet as we can sing piano, which is quiet. And it builds a little bit each phrase. In Italian, what's written here by the composer is poco a poco crescendo, which means getting louder and louder a little bit at a time. So every time we sing the amen phrase, we do this 4 times in total at the end. I believe we say amen 8 times. We want to get a little bit louder each of those 4 times. And every time we say amen, amen, it grows a little bit and it comes back down. And the movement in the musical notes actually follows this as well. The notes go up. As the notes go up, get a little bit louder. As they come down, get a little bit quieter. So. It holds that for a while, and then the ending. Big finish, fortissimo there at the end. Okay, I think we know the whole song now. Another link that we'll send out is an instrumental practice track that's actually also provided by the composer, Richard Smallwood. So you can listen to individual parts here, you can listen to the rehearsal led by Richard Smallwood, and you can also try to sing along with just the instrumental track if you want. We'll also be recording rehearsal again like we did last time, and so you can actually hear us singing and learning it together on Wednesday. And If anybody has a need for anything else, like if you need me to record something that would be helpful to you, just let me know. We'll try and put it up here on the YouTube channel, and hopefully that can help us learn this in between rehearsals and bring it together really strongly when we come on Wednesdays. All right. Thanks for listening. See you on Wednesday.